Hey, congratulations to you, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm very curious how the singing works, specifically in the scene when you're running really fast and singing. When you record that, how do you make it sound like you're running and singing? It was so cool.
Are you ready? From now, literally doing this. These eyes will be blinded by. You have to do all of that. And when you're running, you have to sing as well.
Yeah.
You have to actually sing. I have the song here. I'm running full pelt. And I don't know if that's is that a phrase you use?
Full pelt? Never
Just running as fast as you can, full pelt. And we are singing at the same time. And Justin and Benj, our lyricists and songwriters, are listening to it to make sure that my lip sync is perfect. And sometimes they use the live stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I was wondering throughout the film, are there things that are live?
Some things, particularly the beginnings of songs. You know, one of the things with musicals is the getting into a song. It has to be seamless. You have to feel that you're not even noticing that you're going from talking into singing.
Yeah.
So sometimes then we'll have what we recorded on the set, sometimes in the middle of a song. So we record everything live, and then you also record it.
Now, this is just a nerdy question, but to me, when I think of what P.T. Barnum did, bringing these people into this cast and who were just afraid to kind of show who they were and be themselves, it kind of reminds me of who kind of the X-Men are. Like they're
100%.
outcasts in the sense of, and Professor X kind of gave them that opportunity to be them. I am curious, hypothetically, on a nerdy element, if P.T. Barnum were to put on an X-Men show, what do you think that show would be like?
100%. He would have loved the X-Men. I mean, really, that's what he was doing, and it is the same theme. And what would Barnum's X-Men would have been? You know what I think? I think of him as like an Elon Musk, like Steve Jobs. I don't think he would be putting up a circus tent and marching people around in their X-Men suits. I think he'd be in virtual reality. He would want to reach as many people as possible, and I think he'd be like, okay, I want to put everybody inside. I want the audience to be an X-Man or an X-woman, and I want to put them in the troupe. That's what I think he'd be doing.
I'm all in for that.
You're in?
Yeah, more of a serious question. One of the things I love about your character and the arc that he has throughout the film is he lets reviews affect him. And there's a critic in the movie, and at one point the reviews are bad, and he ends up using the circus as a quote. And then at one point the reviews are good, and he shuts his cast out and kind of goes along with the Rebecca Ferguson arc line. I'm curious, as an actor, maybe this early on in your career, I'm not sure if it still affects you, but if you have reviews, did you ever find yourself changing things you did based on reviews you read about yourself?
You know, my father, when I told him I wanted to be an actor, he said, I'm a little worried you're a little too thin-skinned. I remember him saying that to me. And he's kind of right. I am sensitive, and I read reviews a little bit like this. I don't want to, and also as an actor, particularly on stage, a good review can damage you as much as a bad review. If something gets in your head, if someone says, I love the way you say that line, and then you're like, how did I say that line? And you can lose it, you know. But ultimately, I've had a couple of reviews here in America, in New York City, that have been really tough to read. And they've said some things that actually, on reflection, have helped me. Like they are very true. The one reviewer said one thing, Hugh Jackman, all he requires of you is to love you, loving him, loving you. And I remember at the time just going bright red. It was a difficult thing to read, but it ultimately helpful.
Wow. That's interesting. Thank you so much for sharing that.
My pleasure, man.
And I love the shot when you're on that trapeze. It's the slow-mo of you coming there, and you're standing there, and then it cuts to your face. I'm curious, in the movies, when you actually shot that scene, how did that look for you? On that slow-mo shot, was that a separate shot? How did they film that moment?
Well, I was swinging through the air, so it took me a while. I'd have to swing all the way this way.
She came all the way from across the room, no net.
For like a second.
And you're literally just standing there on the side.
Yeah, and I was just waiting there.
Waiting for me to swing up to the balcony.
And quite literally, I was just so impressed I didn't have to do much acting. I was just like pretty blown away. I don't know what it takes to swing upside down, all that momentum, and then just like, all of a sudden she'd get up and it would just be like perfect face.
Listen, there's a lot that led up to that. There's a lot that led up to that. A lot of ugly face before the 2 seconds of pretty face.
So do you switch from the face to the actual close-up shot?
Yeah, it's definitely a conscious choice. It starts with because it's uncomfortable, right? And then as soon as I felt that lift happen, you fall into
that was it.
And then as soon as you drop, it's like, shit, let me down.
I want to see that take.
If I did that, my face would be like,
You wouldn't be able to switch it.
No way. I'd be laughing hysterically.
You know, one of my favorite scenes in the film is when Hugh's with the family and they're doing that wish sequence. It's such a beautiful shot with the light as it's hitting the curtains and they're on the rooftop. I am curious, you know, we're sitting here in New York. This is such a cool experience that we have, and you guys are amazing actors, very successful careers. If you could have one wish right now, what would it be in your real lives?
This is gonna sound so corny, and I've said
Never
it a million
does.
times.
Never does. Say it.
But this is it. We wish jointly for world
World
peace.
peace.
I know that sounds crazy
That's great.
right now, but like with everything that's going on, we just need a little more love. We need a little more peace. We need a little more acceptance.
And that's one of the reasons I think that we're so excited about this film is
Right.
that it gets that message across in so many ways. And the music and the songs really they find a way inside your heart and soul to leave you with the message in mind, but also just excited on life and happy to be a part of this world. And that's a Christmas message that everyone needs right now, and everyone I hope sees.
I'm curious how the singing works in a movie like this, because the singing's absolutely incredible.
You
and
just talk, but longer.
but do you go into like when do you record the music? Like when do you record the actual songs? And then when you're doing it on set in order to make it look like you're singing in the version that we're hearing, how do they make it, like how, do you actually physically sing on set then record it? How does that work?
Yeah.
It's kind of a combo. You lay down kind of a basic track, so you know
Like a
what notes,
skeleton.
like a skeleton track, and you know what notes you have to hit and kind of the cadence you want to sing at. But and that gives you something to. But you have to really sing on the day,
Or
otherwise
unless
it
you
looks
look
fake.
Yeah.
But oftentimes you get better as you progress because then you're, as you're shooting, you find different things throughout the song, different intentions, and you find that your voice gets better and you can hit different notes. You can revisit the studio, and then add in those little laughs or accent marks or I don't know, just maybe take away different stuff and add breaths.
Nobody probably wants to hear like our live version while we were swinging around and doing all that.
I want to hear the live version.
It's
of
a
that.
lot of right the star.
I want to see
like
when you could drop
a lot of key changes.
yeah.
When you drop into those
Shrieking sounds.
when you drop into those people, like that scene when you're dropping down and they catch you.
Yeah.
As an actor, you're performing that scene as the character, but is there a moment where you're wondering, are they actually going to catch me? Like, where's
Listen,
that?
at this point, I had been through and up and down so many times. I was just like, whatever. Like, it became like the second nature. It's fine. I know they're there. Like, I'm good. I got wires. We're good. Lower me. You know,
That
it
was like
becomes
the ultimate
like
trust fall, though.
it becomes
is.
nothing. I know that sounds crazy, but it just becomes nothing.
Oh, you guys are amazing. They're wrapping me up. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
so kind to
It's
me.
so fun.
Always
Of
appreciate it.
course.
Wish thing.
Yeah,
You guys are really
absolutely.
kind people.
Anytime.
Thank you. You guys